Hello students. Last class we have been studying about electrovalent bonds and today we are going to study the second type of bonding, that is called covalent bond. Now as the name suggests, co means together. So whenever there are two atoms which are bound to stay together and they cannot be separated from one another, the bond is called covalent bond. Now in other terms, in terms of sharing of electrons, if we try to understand, what happens is whenever there is a condition when element is not able to either give an electron or take an electron, that was the condition for electrovalent bond. Now if an atom is not able to give away the electron or take an electron, for example there are two hydrogen atoms. Each hydrogen, it contains only one electron in its outermost shell. Now if hydrogen gives away the electron, there will be no electron left in the outermost shell and that will lead to a quite unstable condition. So that is why whenever there are only two hydrogen atoms available in the surroundings and they need to get stable, what is opted is one electron is shared by both of them so that these two electrons are now part of both the atoms at the same time. So this is called sharing of electrons, and this sharing is the reason for formation of covalent bond. Now what happens when we share something? Sharing means there is something which is belonging to both of us. If I am sharing something with my friend, it means we both are using it. So it means now both the atoms will be using electrons from each of them. Now if we count electrons for atom number 1, there are 2 electrons for it. For atom number 2 also there are 2 electrons for it. So in this case, duplet is completed for both the atoms. Now let us try to understand it with another example. Suppose we are talking about a carbon atom. Carbon has atomic number 6. So if we write the configuration, it becomes 2, 4. So there are 2 electrons in the first shell and 4 electrons in the outermost shell. Now these 4 electrons need plus 4 if it wants to get 8. It means it needs 4 more electrons to be taken. Or what is other way out is, if it gives out 4 electrons, that will lead to only 2 electrons left in the inner shell. Both the conditions if we try energetically, because there are 6 protons already inside. So if 1 electron is lost, protons will be attracting remaining electrons very strongly. So if by providing energy we take out other electron also, now remaining electrons are attracted by 6 protons, still they will be attracted even more strongly. So now at least there is so much of energy required to take out all 4 electrons, and that is not leading to a stable condition as well, because 6 protons containing 2 electrons, that is very very high attraction force and atom cannot be stable for long. And what is the cause of bonding? Atom just wants to be stable. So in this case, generally carbon atom opts for another method for completing the octet, that is it shares its 4 electrons in such a way that it gets its octet completed. Now if carbon is coming into contact with hydrogen, which has 1 electron in outermost shell. Now what happens? Hydrogen needs 1 electron, carbon needs 4 electrons. So one hydrogen cannot fulfill the requirement. Now in this way, what carbon does it forms a covalent bond with 4 hydrogen atoms, or we can say it shares 1 electron of each hydrogen, and this way it occupies 4 hydrogen atoms. Now if you see, each of the hydrogen has 1 electron of its own and it is sharing only one electron of carbon. Out of all the 4, only one is part of one hydrogen. Another electron of carbon, that is part of other hydrogen, and this way each hydrogen is having 2 electrons in its outermost shell now after sharing. Same way, if we count for carbon, it has 4 electrons of its own and 1 electron each from 4 hydrogen atoms. Now how many it has got after sharing? It becomes 8. 4 from carbon and 4 from hydrogen, which are 4 in numbers. So this is the way carbon is getting its octet completed. But still, how many bonds are formed by hydrogen sharing only 1 electron? So whenever there is sharing of only 1 electron between 2 atoms, this is called as single bond. It is a covalent bond, but it is called a single bond. Now let us consider another atom. Suppose we are talking about oxygen. What is the atomic number of oxygen? That is 8. So if we write the configuration, it becomes 2, 6. Now if we talk about the outermost shell of oxygen, two electrons in first shell and there are 6 electrons in the second shell. Now how many electrons are required by one oxygen? It is short of 2 electrons to complete the octet. But just suppose there is no other element in the surrounding to form a bond. Only oxygen atoms are there. So if there is other oxygen, it will also have 2 electrons in the first shell and it will also have 6 electrons in the second shell. Now if these two want to combine and complete the octet, what is the way out? 2 required by this one, 2 required by this one. So they find another way out. Now they share 2 electrons each. So let us see what is the condition after sharing. First shell, then second shell, and this is only possible if these 2 atoms come closer and become so close that their outermost shells are overlapping one another. One is falling over the other. Now one oxygen had 2 electrons here, another also has 2 electrons, and remaining 4, 2 are shared here. How many are remaining? These are 2, 4, 2 and 4. Now if we count total electrons in the atoms, they are not changing, but the shared pair, it is now belonging to both the atoms at the same time. Now if we are counting number of electrons in the first atom, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and then 7 and 8. 8 completed for first atom. Same way 8 electrons completed for other oxygen also. But how many electrons have been shared in all? 2 by 1 atom. In all 4. So 1 electron pair is representing a single bond. So how many pairs we see now? We are seeing 2 pairs. So this is called a double bond. But how do we represent it? Rather, like if we had to represent hydrogen, we used to represent it by a single line, that is telling you a single bond. If we are talking about methane, there was carbon and with each hydrogen it was sharing only 2 electrons. So we draw one line here, one here, one here, one here. 4 single bonds. But now in case of oxygen, if we have to represent it, we have to draw a double bond. 2 lines means there are total 4 electrons shared. So this is called a double bond. Now another kind of bond we can also observe if we are talking about nitrogen atom. Now we all know nitrogen has atomic number 7. So configuration becomes 2, 5. So if we draw nitrogen atom, nucleus, then it is first shell containing 2 electrons and second shell will be containing 5 electrons, 3, 4 and 5. Now again the same case, if there is other nitrogen only available in the vicinity to form a bond, can we see how many electrons are required by each of the atom? One nitrogen having 3 electrons in outermost shell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5. Now this one is short of 3 electrons. Another one is also short of 3 electrons. So how do they fulfill their requirement? Now here what they do is both the nitrogens have to now share 3 electrons each. So when we draw the nitrogen molecule, that is N2, how do we draw it? First shell, then in the second shell, we can see 2 orbitals are overlapping. First shell does not overlap, it will remain intact. But now how many electrons have been shared? 1, 2, 3 by first atom and 1, 2, 3 by second atom. These 2 electrons are not bonded, not taking part in bonding in each of the nitrogen. So how many bonds we see? 3 bonds. When we have to represent nitrogen molecule, how do we represent? We draw 3 horizontal lines between 2 nitrogen atoms. And what is this bond called? This is called a triple bond. And how many electrons are shared here? There are 6 electrons shared, 3 by each nitrogen atom. Now these shared pairs, they are called as bond pairs. So how many bond pairs we see here? 1, 2, 3. The electrons which are forming the bond. How many bonds? 3 bonds. Now if we are talking about oxygen molecule, how many bond pairs we see? 1 pair and 2 pair. So there are 2 pairs which are bond pairs. In case of hydrogen, there is only 1 bond pair. And now in case of methane, there are total 4 bond pairs. Now here in these 2 examples, we don't leave any electron in the outermost shell. But if we see oxygen, how many electrons are there which are not taking part in the bond formation in the outermost shell? What we talk about is outermost shell. So this outermost shell has 2 electrons bonded, which were already present out of the 6 electrons initially present. There are 4 electrons which have not taken part in bond formation, and these pairs are called as lone pairs. So how many lone pairs we see in one oxygen atom? There is 1 lone pair, then there is second lone pair, 2 lone pairs left with 1 oxygen. With other oxygen also 1 pair, 2 pair, there are 2 lone pairs also. So how many lone pairs are there in oxygen molecule? If we are talking about O2, that is oxygen molecule. So how many lone pairs we have? We have total 4 lone pairs. Now if the same way we are talking about nitrogen molecule, we can see there are 3 bond pairs. How many lone pairs we see? See, 1 pair of electron left with 1 nitrogen, another with other nitrogen. So if we are talking about 1 atom, there is 1 lone pair. If we are talking about the molecule, there are total 2 lone pairs in a molecule. This is basically how a covalent bond is formed, how are electrons shared, and what is the need for sharing. So generally whenever a covalent bond is formed, it is not possible to just by giving away or taking up one electron. So this is midway out. This is the solution for the problem, that instead of giving or taking, we can share something. So this is all about covalent bond formation today. Next class we will study the properties of covalent bonds.